We are just days away from the WWE's fourth and final biggest pay-per-view of the year. This year's Survivor Series pay-per-view continues the brand supremacy theme, as both WWE's blue and red brand clash in the ring to see who is the best. The brands will go head to head in not just traditional elimination style matches, but pit each brand's respective champion against each other. What are we in store for? What's rumoured to go down? Could we see a massive return? Could the gobbledygooker return? Well, probably not, but here are 8 last minute rumours you need to know. Number 1. Kurt Angle was supposed to be on Team Raw. Kurt Angle proved at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view that he's not ready for the wrestling retirement home just yet, and despite losing in the first round of the WWE World Cup, he put on a decent enough match with Dolph Ziggler. 2 weeks ago on Raw, Angle had the opportunity to captain the Raw Men's Survivor Series team, but only if he won his match against Drew McIntyre. Sadly, he would be mauled by the Scottish psychopath, taking him out of the match entirely. However, WWE's original plans involved Angle being on the team, but Angle was replaced by Finn Balor in a last-minute change. Mike Johnson of PW Insider explained, "I don't know what the cause was for the change, but a week ago was a week ago. The plan was for Kurt Angle to be in the match, and not Finn Balor. So for whatever reason, they decided with that Drew McIntyre match that they were writing Kurt out of storylines for now, and Finn Balor was the one to take his place. Seems like this was the best decision to make. Angle doesn't need to be involved, and Balor is simply sitting on the sidelines." Number 2. Why Alexa Bliss is not competing. It was revealed that a week before the Evolution pay-per-view, Alexa Bliss had suffered a concussion in the ring at a WWE live event. While she was replaced by Alicia Fox at the pay-per-view, she would briefly return to action wrestling at a house show in Spain, but any plans of wrestling at the Survivor Series were quickly thrown out. Bliss announced that she will be putting together a team of Raw's best female wrestlers, but made it clear that even though she is captain, she will not be wrestling. Dressed in smart attire, her new look seemed to indicate that she has transitioned into a heel authority role. However, Dave Meltzer explained the real reason for her not wrestling at the Survivor Series on a recent edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio. The situation is there's been a lot of talk going on with her, so it was not just a concussion, she's actually had multiple concussions in a short period of time, so that's why they're cautious with her right now. Number 3. Ronda Rousey vs Becky Lynch will now be reserved for WrestleMania 35. The Go Home episode of SmackDown Live revealed that Becky Lynch suffered a broken nose and a concussion when she appeared on Monday night to attack Team Raw. Lynch would surprisingly choose Charlotte Flair to take her place this Sunday, turning it into a normal match, no champion versus champion anymore. This means that the long-rumoured WrestleMania 35 match between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair will happen sooner than expected. This could indicate the possibility of WWE switching its matches around, and the swap makes perfect sense. Even though WWE is giving away this match on a much lesser scale than it could have at WrestleMania, it's fair to say Lynch is more popular than Flair, and WWE should book this match for Mania instead. Number 4. Nia Jax has major backstage heat. Becky Lynch's busted up nose was caused by Nia Jax, who, let's be fair, has on a few occasions caused some injuries in the past. Now, we're not here to point any blame at Jax, as accidents can happen in WWE at any time. However, Cageside Seats reported that Jax's Fist of Fury has received backstage heat from a number of wrestlers who have viewed Jax to be careless in the ring. Not only did she legitimately hit another wrestler, which has resulted in a number of unplanned substitutions. Nia Jax is currently the number 1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship, so it'll be interesting to see if this accident could have ramifications for her, as being branded as careless backstage will surely do you no favours in terms of a push. Number 5. Who will replace Charlotte Flair? With Flair replacing Lynch, it means that a spot needs to be filled on the SmackDown Women's Elimination match. At the moment, the most likely replacement would be Mandy Rose, as her tag partner Sonya Deville is already in the match. Others have reported that Nikki Cross could also be the replacement. Number 6. Why Dean Ambrose is not on the card. Many are wondering why Dean Ambrose is not on the Survivor Series card, even when he's one of the Raw brand's top superstars. Whilst we won't get to see the Lunatic Fringe in action, it makes sense not to have him take part. Firstly, nobody would trust Ambrose after he turned his back on longtime brethren Seth Rollins. Secondly, it's been rumoured that Ambrose will cost Rollins his match against Shinsuke Nakamura. No belts are on the line, just bragging rights, so WWE will no doubt take this opportunity to forward their storyline. Number 7. Cancelled storyline. On this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, we had the usual invasion angle that WWE plays out before every Survivor Series, but surprisingly, this only involved the women of SmackDown. Normally it's the men or a mixture of both. However, according to WrestleVotes, who reveals a number of insider information, he was told of a storyline that didn't play out on Raw. Now, take this with a pinch of salt, but he tweeted the idea that Raw would be tipped off before SmackDown intended to invade. This would have suggested a mole was amongst the SmackDown team, and Shane would try to investigate who it was that tipped them off. It's an interesting storyline that could be played out in the future, possibly next year's Survivor Series. And number 8. The Undertaker will appear. Okay, probably every pay-per-view The Undertaker is not scheduled to wrestle at sparks rumours of him showing up, but there is good reason why the dead man is likely to appear at the pay-per-view. This Saturday at the Frank & Son show in Los Angeles, The Undertaker will be signing autographs. This is unusual, firstly because The Undertaker hardly ever does autograph signings, and secondly, it's auspiciously in LA, where the Survivor Series will be held. Rumours have suggested that the dead man was going to have one last encounter with Shawn Michaels, and that he might call him out at the event. Or like Raw's 25th anniversary show where he appeared at the Manhattan Center, he might make a cryptic message signalling his retirement at WrestleMania 35. Let's also not forget The Undertaker debuted at this very event 28 years ago as the mystery member of the $1 Million Team. Perhaps Taker is going full circle. What do you guys think will happen at the Survivor Series? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.